Okay. Well, this is gonna be a pretty basic run. We're going to check one of the online tests available for we to share for us to share. Sorry. I was checking this test like several times, and I saw it is pretty much the same as the test we present you normally have in places like Scrum.org. Um, I myself am certified on Scrum.org, and I know how the test goes. And this is a pretty good example of what they try to assess in that evaluation. So in that exam or yeah assessment. So we're gonna do a quick run over these 10 questions and look if we have we can stop in any place and check the responses. So yeah, as Shantanu Mudagi says, upon, upon what type of process control is Scrum based? Is Scrum based? It is indeed on empirical basis. Um, yeah, it is pretty much that. It is basically all the examples or guides about Scrum. It is stated that it's empirical. We go next here. The purpose of a sprint is to produce a done increment of working product. That's correct. There's not so much to say after that. What's the recommended size for a development team within the Scrum team? Okay, this is a tricky one because depending on which school of Scrum you're checking, it might have a little differences, but not so much. Basically, it's gonna be something between 3 and 9 for both, but there are some cases on some documentation you can see like you can take a number from 7 below or above, but yeah, the pretty much the most common response here is 3 to 9. So yeah, who is on the Scrum team? Okay, this is a good one too. We have here the Scrum Master, the Product Owner, the Development Team, the Project Manager, none of above. Um, Here happens normally one of the key problems normally people have here is they go with the project manager because they think it's gonna be there, and that's an error. In the Scrum team, you'll have the development team, the product owner, and the Scrum master. Normally, they are roles that the Scrum master and the product owner are done by different people by different persons, but there can be situations where the same person is the Scrum Master and the product owner. What are the primary ways? The two primary ways a Scrum Master keeps a development team working at its highest level of productivity. Okay, it says by facilitating development team decisions, by removing impediments that hinder development hinder the development team, by starting and ending the meetings at a proper time, by keeping high value features high in the product backlog. This one is completely out of chance because that's a responsibility. The product backlog is a complete responsibility of the product owner. So that last one is not. This one, it's the most certain here. That's the main reason for the Scrum Master to be there is to help removing impediments in the team. And we have a little tricky one that's by starting and ending the meetings at the proper time. The Scrum Master has one of his responsibilities or she responsibilities her responsibilities to set up meetings and that kind of stuff, but is not responsible for them to be done. It is the development team. So I would say by facilitating development team decisions. It is kind of tricky though, because we're not talking here about kind of pretty big technical decisions. We're talking just about minor development team decisions or strategically, yeah, strategic. So we have product backlog is ordered by, oh, sorry. Okay. Product backlog is ordered by two primary, sorry. Product backlog is ordered by size, where small items are at the top and large items are at the bottom. Risk, where safer items are at the top and risky items are at the bottom. Least valuable items are at the top or the most valuable at the bottom. Items are randomly arranged in whatever is deemed most properly, whatever is deemed most appropriate for the product owner. Okay, this is a tricky one because the straightforward response would be it is related. The product backlog should be ordered by priority. That's the main important. So that's not here, but it is indeed a completely responsibility from of the product owner. So this is definitely the one to go, but the other ones are like looking for you to have an error there. So we have question 7. Who is responsible for managing the progress of work during a sprint? This is another tricky one. Who is responsible for managing the progress? Normally, in software development projects that are not agile, you could see a figure like a product manager, project manager, or something like that, that would go in take responsibility for saying how the work is done during the sprint and that kind of stuff, or during the project and or yeah, the release or something like that. But in Agile and mostly in Scrum, you have to understand that all the progress in the sprint is responsibility and ownership from the development team. There's no Scrum Master, there's no product owner that has um, more say in decisions of progress of how to assign tasks and that kind of stuff than the development team. Okay, Scrum does not have a role called project manager. True or false? Okay, I'm gonna take this one. I'll say I think I mentioned that earlier, but no. In fact, it doesn't have Scrum doesn't have a role called project manager. So this is true. Scrum does not have a role called project manager. So question number 9: which two things does the development team do during the first sprint? Okay, deliver an increment of releasable software. That's correct. Okay, um, during the first sprint, determine the complete architecture and infrastructure of the product. I don't know. Develop and deliver at least one piece of functionality in the first sprint. Okay, maybe. Develop a plan for the rest of the releases of the release. Okay, we're in the first sprint. Our goal is to prepare all the plan to further deliveries and releases, or create the complete product backlog to be developed in subsequent sprints. Um, if you understand Agile fully, you will see rapidly that these are the two: develop and deliver at least one piece of functionality. These are the two things that development team do during the first sprint. Is but it's a pretty common error. People saying that the main responsibility of the first sprint is like being the sprint for setting up environments, configuring servers, installing applications, and preparing all the deliveries for all the project and that kind of stuff. That's a very cascade approach. So it's not that's not agile. So those are the good responses in that case. Question 10. Who should know the most about the progress toward the business? Objectives, or release? And be able to explain be able to explain the alternatives most clearly. The product owner, the development team, the Scrum Master, or the project manager. Okay, toward a business objective or a release. The most indicated person to take this responsibility is the product owner always, because he is the person who is in place between the development team and the stakeholders and the clients and the users. So it is the product owner, yeah. So this is the last question. We just have to hit submit and view our score. Yeah, we have 10 over 10. Okay. The reason I am doing exactly this one because I checked it, and it is pretty similar to the questions you have, and it has a little bit of feedback here, so you can check if you were wrong in a question why, and it is pretty similar to the way that the questions are asked in most of the certifications, in most of the certifications, tests or assessments we have in internet right now. So this is a good example for where you can start learning about Agile and Scrum. Okay. Well, I think that's it. So see you later.